Boy, DeWanna Bonner, you sure did look awful today. You looked awful today. You looked like a true liability on the floor.
You're not going to believe this. After Game 3 of the WNBA Finals, the Phoenix Mercury didn't just lose, they imploded. And leading the meltdown was none other than DeWanna Bonner, who decided to take her frustration out on, you guessed it, Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans. Yep, apparently, when your team faceplants in front of empty seats, the logical move is to blame the one player who isn't even there. As apparently, according to her, the Fever fans are bullying her. The irony is almost poetic. Bonner's rant came right after the third straight finals game failed to sell out, even though tickets were cheaper than a drive-through meal. That's how low the pinnacle of women's basketball has fallen. This isn't a one-night dip or a random slump. It's a pattern. Every single game has unsold seats. The supposed crown jewel of the league is being hawked like a clearance rack special, and fans are walking right past it. So how does a league that's been bragging all year about record-breaking ratings and historic growth end up playing in front of empty chairs? Let us know down in the comments below why you think the finals has been a disaster.
The Las Vegas Aces versus the Phoenix Mercury. And I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be one of the lowest rated WNBA Finals in a mighty long time.
The WNBA has spent the entire year drowning in its own self-congratulation. Every press release, every ESPN headline, every Engelbert interview has screamed about how the league is booming. But now that the finals are here, that illusion is cracking fast. Ticket sales haven't dipped, they've cratered. The supposed momentum vanished faster than Caitlin Clark on a fast break with 3 defenders and no whistle.
Game 3 of the WNBA Finals, and news has broke that you can get into the game for tickets as low as $10. Yeah, no. Your speakers on your laptop or your phone are working perfectly fine. You heard me loud and clear. You can get into Game 3 of the WNBA Finals for $10. This is craziness.
And let's not pretend this is some long-term stat buried in a spreadsheet somewhere. We're talking Game 3 of the Finals in Phoenix. You'd think people would be camping out to see the best the WNBA has to offer, right? Wrong. The cheapest ticket, $10. That's not a typo, $10. For the cost of a parking ticket, you can watch the so-called biggest game of the year. Lower bowl seats, $25. Courtside behind the bench, $90. Want second row? About $130. To put that in perspective, parking for a UFC fight in the same city costs more than a finals ticket.
Not to mention, we got none other than DeWanna Bonner, former Indiana Fever, quit the team herself in the talk and conversation of this WNBA Finals, and more importantly, her significant other, Alyssa Thomas, has found herself in some hot water as well, with not really speaking about the current state of the W.
Now here's where it gets hilarious, or depressing, depending on how much you care. During the Indiana Fever's matchup against the Aces just a week ago, those exact same seats were selling for 5 to 10 times more. Courtside was $2,000 a pop. But now, for the finals, you can grab a front row seat for under $500. The section behind the basket? Maybe $300, and even that's struggling to fill up. And these aren't resale prices. This is face value. The WNBA itself can't even give away tickets to its own championship.
You mean to tell me Caitlin Clark's signature Nike t-shirt costs more than these damn WNBA final tickets? And I'm here to tell you, oh yeah, they do. I mean, 4-time WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson can't even get tickets up to $50. Bruh, this is bad. I mean, this is beyond bad. This just tells you the state of this damn league.
And before anyone tries to say, well, Phoenix fans just don't care, stop it. This is the same city that sells out everything. Boxing, UFC, NBA, concerts, rodeos, you name it. The problem isn't Arizona. The problem is that nobody cares about this finals matchup. DeWanna Bonner's Mercury may have clawed their way to the big stage, but outside of hardcore fans, there's zero excitement. The casual audience, the one that Caitlin Clark brought in, checked out the minute she wasn't on the floor. And that's the league's biggest nightmare. When Caitlin Clark isn't involved, nobody tunes in. When she played, tickets vanished in hours. You couldn't even find a resale under $200. Every city she visited looked like a mini Super Bowl. But now, no Caitlyn, no crowd. The Clark effect was the entire heartbeat of this league, and the second she wasn't part of the equation, everything flatlined.
Now, we know the controversy that led up to this game is pretty much attached to Caitlyn's name. That is the Las Vegas Aces actually knocking off Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Well, Caitlyn did not play, but we know the referees kind of had a hand in that, we should say, with kind of making sure the Las Vegas Aces was pushed to making it to the finals.
This final series is proof of what fans have been saying all year. The WNBA's growth isn't organic, it's borrowed. It's built on one player who carried the sport into the mainstream. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a star, she was the story. She sold out arenas, drove merchandise, spiked TV ratings, and gave brands something to rally around. Without her, the league goes right back to being what it's always been, a niche sideshow pretending to be a revolution. And as this disaster unfolds, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has the audacity to keep doing her media rounds, calling this the strongest position the league's ever been in. Strongest? Please. If this is strong, then a sandcastle in high tide is a fortress. When your finals tickets cost less than a round of bowling, you've got a serious problem. The pricing charts tell the truth Engelbert won't admit. When tickets first went on sale, upper-level seats were about $50. Within a week, they dropped 20%. By tip-off, you could sit in the lower bowl for less than $60. That's not growth, that's desperation.
You spend more money streaming the game at home than you do going and actually seeing it in person. This is wild. This is wild. $10 is crazy.
It's a PR nightmare of epic proportions. You can't spend the season thumping your chest about record growth and then struggle to sell $10 tickets for your championship. Corporate partnerships, Nike deals, flashy ad campaigns. None of it matters when your arenas look half empty on national television. You can't fake butts in seats. Either fans show up or they don't, and right now, the scoreboard reads loud and clear. They're not showing up. And let's be real, part of the problem is the finals themselves. This matchup has all the excitement of a Tuesday morning staff meeting. There's no drama, no rivalry, no villain. Just DeWanna Bonner scowling at invisible fans, blaming Caitlin Clark for her own irrelevance, and pretending she's part of some league-saving storyline. The Mercury play slow, predictable basketball, and the Aces aren't much better. It's flat, forgettable, and painfully overhyped.
It's just the most unwatchable basketball product possible between the two teams left standing. Not to decimate it by injury, Cathy Engelbert really outdid it herself. Can't imagine why the world is calling for her resignation.
Bonner's meltdown after Game 3 made it even worse. Instead of owning up to the embarrassment, she decided to throw a fit, claiming the league had lost real fans because of media obsession with Caitlin Clark. Translation: she's mad that people stopped pretending to care about her team once the Fever went home. It's classic insecurity disguised as righteousness. Bonner's been in the league for over a decade, but she's suddenly blaming Clark for stealing the spotlight, as if success is something to be rationed. The irony? Without Clark, she wouldn't even have a finals to complain about. Even players are quietly admitting it now. This finals just doesn't have the spark. The energy, the buzz, the magic that surrounded the Indiana Fever earlier in the season is gone. When Caitlin Clark was on the floor, every game felt like an event. The arenas throbbed with anticipation. Reporters scrambled for quotes. Fans lined up hours before tip-off just to be part of something that felt historic. Now, the electricity's been cut. These finals feel like someone forgot to turn the lights back on.
Very, very bad. The face of the league, they want it to be her. And yeah, the plan really ain't planning right now, dog.
Sure, part of that drop is because Caitlin's not playing right now. But the bigger truth is uglier. This league has no idea how to treat its biggest star. Fans remember everything. The cheap shots, the ignored fouls, the dirty plays from jealous veterans, and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's golden silence while it all happened. Every time the WNBA failed to protect Clark, a little more trust eroded. People stopped buying tickets, stopped tuning in, and started realizing the league doesn't actually deserve her. Now that she's sidelined, the numbers are collapsing faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. And the timing could not be worse. The Players' Union is gearing up for a major fight over salaries, benefits, and a fair share of revenue. They're right to demand better. They work hard and carry the product. But the question is, what leverage do they have when finals tickets cost less than a trip to the gas station? Owners and networks are already sharpening their talking points. If your so-called best year ever can't sell out a finals game, why should we increase pay? It's cruel, but they're not wrong. The league's failure to build sustainable excitement just handed management all the ammunition it needs.
Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So, tickets as low as $10. That's cheaper than a $5 foot long. You can get a foot long from Subway with some Sun Chips and a Sprite for more, and that costs more than going to see Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. This is craziness. This is craziness.
And that's the tragedy. This doesn't just hurt DeWanna Bonner or the Mercury. It hurts everyone. It hurts the players trying to grow the sport. It hurts the fans who stuck around through the rough years, and it hurts the league's future. Empty seats mean less sponsor money, weaker broadcast deals, and no power at the bargaining table. Yet, Cathy Engelbert is still out there smiling in interviews, bragging about historic momentum, like a politician reading from a teleprompter. If this is success, what does failure look like? Because when your championship game looks like a clearance sale, the spin doesn't fool anyone. Meanwhile, Bonner's still out here throwing tantrums instead of taking responsibility. Instead of focusing on her game or leadership, she's busy deflecting, blaming Caitlin Clark, the fans, the media, anyone but herself. It's the same tired playbook that's plagued the league for years. Jealousy over accountability, ego over excellence. The sad reality is that while Caitlin Clark's name sells tickets, DeWanna Bonner's name sells excuses. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, social media takes over, and it's brutal. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, everyone's roasting the WNBA with screenshots of the finals, ticket maps showing endless blue dots of unsold seats. Fans are calling it the cheapest championship in sports history. Others are posting memes about how the silence inside the arena is louder than the whistles that never come when Caitlin gets fouled. It's funny on the surface, but underneath the laughter is frustration. This isn't hate. It's disappointment from people who wanted the league to win and are watching it throw away its best chance. The truth is staring everyone in the face. The WNBA refuses to listen to its audience. Fans aren't asking for miracles, just fairness, consistency, and a product worth their time. They want real officiating, real rivalries, and real promotion for players who actually move the needle. But the league seems allergic to anything authentic. They chase image instead of impact, PR optics instead of progress. When Caitlin Clark handed them an audience that leagues dream about, they didn't celebrate it, they suffocated it. They tried to contain her instead of elevating her. And now, they're left with finals that look like scrimmages and tickets priced like vending machine snacks. It's tragic comedy at this point. The league that called this its most successful season ever is ending it in half-empty arenas while Engelbert smiles for cameras like everything's fine. If this trend keeps up, next year's finals might as well be hosted in a high school gym with folding chairs and a bake sale outside. Because let's be honest, this disaster was entirely preventable. The league had everything. Caitlin's momentum, national buzz, new sponsors, bigger TV slots, and they blew it. They didn't nurture it, they exploited it. They rode her wave without ever understanding what made it powerful: authenticity. Fans connected with Clark because she was real, passionate, competitive, unfiltered. The league, by contrast, feels scripted and sanitized. For months, Engelbert toured the media circuit like she was the mastermind behind the boom. Viewership is up, merch is flying off shelves, she repeated in every interview. But peel back the PR and it's the same old league with the same old problems: no coherent marketing, inconsistent officiating, and stale presentation. They thought hype alone could carry them, but hype without heart collapses fast. Even the players are noticing. Sophie Cunningham, Nafisa Collier, and others have hinted publicly that league leadership is disconnected from reality. But instead of fixing anything, Engelbert's response has been to form more committees and host more listening sessions. Translation: another round of meetings that accomplish nothing. Meanwhile, the clock's ticking. Fans are checking out, sponsors are hesitating, and the finals look like a ghost town. The WNBA doesn't need a PowerPoint about inclusion. It needs someone who understands entertainment. Because everyone, players, analysts, even casual fans, knows the truth. People came for Caitlin Clark, not for the WNBA logo. She was the reason ratings broke records, the reason people cared. Without her, the finals feel like the morning after a great party. The lights are on, the music's gone, and everyone's just awkwardly waiting for someone to clean up. Even ESPN's lost the energy. The broadcast feels lifeless, the commentary flat, and the camera keeps catching rows of empty seats. It's hard to hype record growth when your arena looks like a rehearsal. The WNBA keeps saying it's a league on the rise, but everything about these finals screams otherwise. It's not growth, it's regression in denial. The tragedy is how easy it would have been to prevent this. All they had to do was build on what Caitlyn started, protect her, promote her, and use her success to elevate everyone else. Instead, they alienated her fanbase. They mocked the people who paid for tickets, let players take shots at her publicly, and turned a national story of excitement into a soap opera of envy. It wasn't just incompetence, it was arrogance. The league acted like it didn't need her, and now it's finding out exactly what life without her looks like. What makes it sting even more is that this should have been their defining year. Caitlin Clark gave the WNBA its first real breakthrough, a superstar who transcended the sport. She pulled in families, kids, casual fans, and even NBA audiences. This finals could have been the coronation of a new era. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale. The league took the greatest marketing gift it's ever been handed and managed to turn it into a train wreck. Fans don't stick around out of obligation. They stay because they're entertained. That's the basic rule every successful league understands. You have to create storylines, rivalries, moments that stick. The NBA has LeBron versus Steph. The NFL has Mahomes versus everybody. What does the WNBA have right now? DeWanna Bonner ranting about Caitlin Clark while half the league's fanbase buys popcorn somewhere else. So here we are, $10 finals tickets, empty seats, and a commissioner pretending everything's fine. The biggest storyline of the postseason isn't the championship itself, it's how few people care that it's happening. The visuals are embarrassing, the energy's dead, and the credibility gap grows wider by the day. If the WNBA truly wants to grow, it needs to stop preaching empowerment and start delivering excitement. Fans want to be part of something real, not something rehearsed. They don't want another social initiative or brand partnership. They want great basketball with players who inspire them. Caitlin Clark gave them that. And until the league learns from her example, every finals will keep looking emptier than the last. Because fans have already made their decision. They've stopped buying the hype and started voting with their wallets. And right now, the message couldn't be clearer. No Caitlin, no crowd, no credibility. Let us know down in the comments below why you think the finals has been a disaster. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.